Awesome.
I
What's going on
hope you're doing all right
YouTube?
too.
And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank you so much for joining me for this being our review for 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. This is season 9, episode 14. I see Auntie Robin is already in the building saying hello. Hello, Auntie Robin. So glad that you've joined us, my love. Love you for watching, girl.
Yes.
I'm sorry that we are late coming in. We had a little bit of technical issues, but let's go ahead and get this out of the way. I've come to the conclusion that watching 90 Day Fiance is just a little bit draining for me, especially dealing with a lot of these women.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just get Jasmine out of the way.
Okay.
As I've said in previous reviews, Jasmine was really one of my favorite people on 90 Day Fiance. She really was. Prior to watching this particular season, I was even on her side during the last resort. However, watching this
Mm-hmm.
season and seeing her interact with Matt the way that she has, I always thought that Jasmine acted the way that she acted because of Gino. But I've come to realize that Jasmine acts the way she acts because she's Jasmine, and also because there's a TV camera in front of her face. I do believe that Jasmine does drum up a lot of unnecessary drama just for drama's sake because she's on a reality TV show. And, you
Mm-hmm.
know, Jasmine's not the only one who's doing it. I also understand that Darcy and Stacey do the exact same thing. And that's probably the reason why all of these three women have been on the show for as long as they have been on the show, been on probably 2 or 3 different iterations of 90 Day Fiance. And I know it probably sounds like I'm really frustrated. It's because that I am frustrated. It's
You're not the
so
only one.
annoying to
I am very,
watch. I see
I
Bianca's
am
in the
very
building.
frustrated
Hey
as well.
Bianca, thank you so much for being here,
Hey,
girl.
Bionic.
Right. Absolutely, Dustin. It's
Yeah.
draining to watch these women on this show.
Yes.
Bianca says, "Happy Monday, Jonathan, Dustin, and Miss Robin Moore. Thank you so much for being here, Bianca. Love you, girl." So,
Thank you so much for
Jasmine,
being here, Bionic. Sorry about that. I'm trying to
it,
get it
it's
out.
it's okay, Dustin. So Jasmine and Matt start out with looking like they're putting a baby crib together. It's all pink, and Matt
Yes.
seems not to like the fact that Jasmine likes all this pink stuff. And you know, it's almost like they're in this thing together because, well, at the same time, I'm guessing that Matt really doesn't know Jasmine that well. So he really
No.
doesn't know where her triggers are. But Jasmine can have a trigger from anything. I think Jasmine can make drama out of anything, any situation that she might find herself in. She's going to make a big hoopla about it. But, anyways, so they're having this big argument or whatever the case might be. Then Jasmine brings up the fact that Matt has not introduced her to any of his family members whatsoever, which I find that really interesting because I don't think Jasmine has introduced Matt to any of her family or any of her loved ones or anyone in her particular circle either. We see Tammy in the building. Hey, Tammy, thank you so
Hey,
much for
Tammy.
being
Thank you for
here.
being here.
Let me pull up Tammy's comment and read it out loud, girl. Um, so Tammy says down here in the comments, "Hey Jonathan, I'm so laughing right now. I told you Jasmine is all about the drama. I was crying. Yes, Tammy. Tammy, let me tell you, like I was on Jasmine's side when she was with Gino, but now that I see Jasmine with Matt, like she's just a drama queen and she's doing all this because the cameras are in her face. I don't want to believe that she's this much of a drama queen just in her own daily life. I think she's just putting on for the cameras because she feels as
Mm-hmm.
though this is what is going to keep her on the show. So my mom told me the same thing about Jasmine. I have a
Yeah.
feeling that Gino has some validity to those things that he was saying later on in the episode when he says that it just so happens that she starts her relationship with Matt after she got her green card and all this good stuff that's going on. But anyways, let's get
Mm-hmm.
back to Jasmine and Matt.
Sure.
So Matt says that hold on. Bianca says down here in the comments, "Hey Tammy, um, hey Tammy, happy Monday." So yes, I love seeing that between Tammy and Bianca. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so she's upset. Jasmine is upset because Matt has not introduced her to any of his family, friends, or loved ones. So Matt says that he's going to
Yes.
introduce her to his friend David. They've been friends for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tammy says hello to Bianca in the comments. Thank you so much for being so gracious to one another in the comments. I love seeing that, you guys. Jasmine is she's really irking my nerves, y'all. She's truly just irking my last good nerve. And um so when she goes out to eat with David and Matt, Jasmine is, she's saying, "Oh, so you're from Romania." All I can think of is Dracula, and something else that she mentioned. And Matt kind of said, when you say that to someone who's Romanian, that can be sort of like defensive towards them. They can take that defensively, and you don't want to say that. But we all know Jasmine is a firecracker. She's going to say the first thing that comes to her mind and not
Mm-hmm.
think twice about it. And so
She has no.
then
She
she
has
asked David,
mm-hmm.
no
She has no
filter.
filter.
I think that's what you're going to say, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And so, Jasmine asked David, because Matt brings up the fact that they used to be roommates back in the day. And so, Jasmine asked Matt, not Matt, but David, if Matt was a little bit of a whore, if Matt, kind of slept around. And, David said, no, he's not like that at all. And then Jasmine reveals that she is still legally married, which I honestly don't believe that she wants to get a divorce from Gino. And I don't think that she's even said to Gino as of yet that she wants a divorce. She said that she's going to leave him, yes, but she has not uttered the word divorce out of her mouth yet, at least not from what I've heard. So then Jasmine reveals David actually picks up on the fact that Jasmine is pregnant. If you want to talk about the outfit that Jasmine was going to wear, she was going to wear a crop top looking thing that was going to have her belly all the way out. So Jasmine wants to let everybody know that she is pregnant, which pregnancy is kind of a hard thing to hide, especially if you're pretty far along. And I think Jasmine says she's like 4 to 6 months along right now. So it is what it is. But even David was saying that Matt has to be more caring towards Jasmine, which I think I think David is only seeing it from Jasmine's side and not necessarily seeing it from Matt's side,
Mm-hmm.
which was really frustrating for me to see because Jasmine was like, well, even your best friend is saying that, you need to be, more caring towards me and understand my points of view. Jasmine actually ended up starting to cry, ended up leaving the table because she still has not been introduced to Matt's friends and family. But what are you going to be introduced to his folks as? Just his baby's mama? Because that's literally all that you are to him is his baby's mama. I don't even know that they're even actually a couple, like actual boyfriend and girlfriend. Yes, they are living together, but I think that's more Matt trying to take care of her while she's pregnant. But
Mm-hmm.
Dustin, before we get to what Gino read to Jasmine at the end of the episode, what was your reaction to her dinner with Matt and his friend David?
I didn't like the way she took. I didn't like. I didn't like it. I didn't like it because I thought maybe she would be more understanding from Matt's point of view, but I don't think Jasmine is very understanding at all this whole entire season. I don't like Jasmine, as you know. I don't like Jasmine. It was point blank in the period. Um, she needs to understand other people's point of view. Try to understand other people's point of view as well, because there's two people that's involved in this situation. It's her and Matt. So there's only two people in my book that has an opinion on this situation here, and for her to keep involving Gino's name in the episode, I don't like that. I don't like keep what quit saying Gino's name in the in the episode, because if you do, Jonathan, I'm very frustrated with this couple. I don't want to see him back next season. I don't want to hear Gino's name again. I'm so sick of hearing about Gino that I could probably scream right now. And that's
Right.
how I feel. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jasmine did bring Gino's name up at the dinner table, saying that, Gino and Matt are two sides of the same coin. Like they're just the same. No, it's you are the same. Jasmine is the common denominator. Jasmine is the issue. Jasmine is the problem. And that's what makes me so frustrated about watching 90 Day Fiance is that it's very often that the women on this show are so problematic. And maybe that's because women can be prone to be a little bit more dramatic than men can be just in general. And
Right.
I feel as though the show banks on or depends on the women to keep the drama going. And that makes the viewing for us, the viewers, that much more cringy and that much more feels as though it's unwatchable. Like it makes me not want to watch the show because of all the drama that is being drummed up. The stupid petty drama is the worst. Like I can understand like if someone is not wanting to meet another family, or you're having a conversation about not having kids, but even that conversation between Brandon and Julia is dead to me because they're clearly never going to see each other's points of view on the issue because they have completely opposite points of view on the issue of having children. So it's just so frustrating for me to watch Jasmine do Matt like this, and Matt is just I just see him as an innocent bystander. And if these men do have any flaws, it's all overshadowed by the way that these women are acting on the show. And I know might sound like I'm bashing on women, but I'm not bashing on women in general. I'm coming down on the women on this show in this series, and it just makes it hard for me to watch the show. It just truly does. But anyway, so Gino is at the gym and he's doing a little bit of a workout and things like that. And he emailed Jasmine. He emailed her because he has her blocked on his phone, so he couldn't text her. But he emailed Jasmine and told her to call him. And so Gino has written out this entire letter, stating all of his grievances with Jasmine, telling her exactly how much he feels as though she owes him. He feels as though she owes him like over $70,000 in cash. Mamir is in the building. Hey, Mamir, thank you so much for being here. Let me pull up her comments, see what she says. Mamir says, hey, everyone. Hey, Mamir, thank you so much for being here. Love you for watching, girl. And so Gino calls Jasmine, and Gino says that the timeline of her starting her involvement with Matt and the fact that she got her green card is a little bit too convenient to be just a coincidence. And I'm starting to feel as though that may be true.
I feel the same way. So, I mean, I feel the same way you feel. So, and that's the truth because this whole season has really took me through a loop this whole entire season, and we're not even halfway over with you. I mean, this
Yeah,
whole.
I actually texted Erin this morning and told her that I have to give Gino some grace right now because any man who is dealing with Jasmine um, has got to really look in the mirror and understand why they are with her because all she does is bring drama into other people's lives. And when I am looking for a partner, I'm looking for someone who's going to bring me peace, someone who's going to
Mhm.
lift me up, bring me a little bit of joy, bring me a little bit of happiness. And Jasmine, maybe she might, be a great sexual partner. But
Mhm.
other than that, I don't even know what else Jasmine has to offer as far as a relationship is concerned. Mamir says down in the comments, Bianca Edwards, happy Monday to you. Thank you so much for being so congenial in the comments, all you
Mhm.
ladies. I love you guys for watching. But anyways, so
Mhm.
Gino just pretty much spills out everything to Jasmine that he has an issue with as far as their relationship is concerned. He feels as though she's never loved him, which I'm still kind of on the fence about that because unless Jasmine is a great actress, I do believe that she at least had some type of feeling for him. Now, I don't know if those feelings were advanced because she had a plan to get a green card so that she could live in America. So maybe she possibly forced herself into wanting to be with Gino because, I mean, it's not to say anything about Gino, but if you look at Gino and Jasmine, I think a lot of people who may not know who they are would say that they look like an odd couple because,
Mhm.
Jasmine is this gorgeous woman and Gino is like your run of the mill type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Gino doesn't look
Yeah.
like a model or anything of that nature, like this gorgeous man or a Hollywood star or anything like that. He just looks like a regular guy who wears hats all the time. And that's okay. That's just who Gino is. And he can't do anything about that. And I'm not getting down on him about that. But I just have a feeling that Jasmine had ulterior motives by getting with Gino because I don't believe that her intention was to get in a meaningful, healthy relationship. I believe that her intentions were to come to America to live a better life than
Mhm.
she was in Panama. And
I
I'm
think she has.
completely on Gino's side. I'm sorry, go ahead, Justin.
I think she's doing it for the money. I think that think that he had a lot of money, and I think that she got what she wanted, and now she don't want nothing to do with him. That's just my opinion.
Right. Bianca says, remember to hit the like button. Thank you so much for that reminder, Bianca. And so, excuse me, anyways, and Tammy's got another comment up here. Let me get this comment up here and see what Tammy has to say. So Tammy says that Jasmine doesn't owe Gino a dime. She didn't take anything he willingly gave it. That is very true, Tammy. He has to be accountable for his part in it. He's not innocent or a victim in any of it. I believe that is true, Tammy. Gino did go into this willingly. I think he might have understood that Jasmine might have had some ulterior motives going into this relationship, and I think it's just very unfortunate that he ended up with Jasmine because all she did do was use him. But Gino willingly was willing to be used. And, you know, the fact that they were having fights about them not lacking intimacy and things of that nature, like it was kind of a tit for tat thing going on. So they're at the end of the day, they were both at fault and they had no business being together. Amir says down in the comments, poor Gino. Nothing hurts more than being lied to and used by someone you love and you thought loved you. That is very true. Like, you know, I'm kind of in the middle of Tammy and Amir because on one end, I want to feel sorry for Gino because of what Jasmine put him through. But at the end of the day, Gino had every chance to just leave Jasmine and send her right on back to Panama. Like he had every right to do that because of the way that she was treating him. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, Gino at the same time with what Tammy's point was, Gino willingly went along with this relationship. I don't know if it's because they were on a TV show and he felt like he had to keep things going, just to keep the money rolling in, or just to keep the fame that he received as a part of being on the show. But I just have a feeling. I just have a feeling, like I said last week, that Jasmine is going to go crawling back to Gino by the end of this thing that we have going on and that we're watching.
I
But
agree.
Dustin, what was your reaction to Gino reading his thoughts to Jasmine over the phone? What were your thoughts on that?
Well, like I said last week, I thought it didn't look too good to me, and I didn't think that he took it too or she took it too well. So yeah, that's how I thought about that. Mm-hmm. She didn't take it too
Mamir
well.
says, yeah, Mamir says down in the comments, sounds like Gino was fooling himself, though. Exactly. I think Gino was surprised that he was able to pull a woman as beautiful as Jasmine is. And once again, I'm not, trying to disrespect Gino on his looks because, we all cannot, none of us can do anything about the way that we look. I mean, we can go get plastic surgery if we want to change something, but, the way that we look is it's inherent in us. Like, is what we were born with, and you
Mm-hmm.
can't do anything about it. So that shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be, that shouldn't be something that's used against us. So I'm not saying it for that sake. I'm just saying, for anyone who's watching this as a viewer, you would see that Jasmine is a certain looking type of girl and Gino is a certain looking type of man. And
Yes.
typically those two type of people do not get together. It typically, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. If you feel like you want to go, if you want to date whom, you have the right to date whomever you want to date, as long as they are consensually okay with you dating them, then that's okay. But I do agree with you, Amir. I do think that Gino was kind of fooling himself, thinking that he could make Jasmine happy. I don't think Jasmine will be made happy by anyone at all.
Uh-uh.
Once I would be interested
I
in
think
knowing
Jack.
what Jasmine is like in her personal life without the cameras being there, and see if because I've seen glimpses of Jasmine being the sweetest woman in the world. But at the same time, we get this, kind of bipolar thing that's going on where she's going off the hinges. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Dustin?
I think Jasmine is showing who she really is on the camera because
Wow.
I think she's really showing who she really is. I think that she's like this. I think she's really like this behind closed doors, and I just think that this season has really shown me who she really is. Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't I
To
don't
be
think that
honest,
I don't think that this is I don't think that this is fake Jasmine. I think this is who we're really doing with. even behind after the show is even over with. I think that she's the same way that she is on the camera than she is in real
Mamir
life.
says down here in the comments, Dustin, are you using a filter? Your complexion is perfect. I'd give my right arm to have such a great skin. Okay, all right. Yeah, your skin does look great,
Thank you,
Dustin.
thank you.
You have a beautiful
I'm not.
face,
I don't have
Dustin.
no filter on. I don't have no filter.
I don't even know how to put a filter on my camera personally, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm just I thought that Matt, while he was listening to that conversation going on, I thought Matt, I'm hoping that Matt sees that he's in the exact same position as Gino. He said to Jasmine in the past, I see why things didn't work out with you and Gino because you are acting like a bitch, like you're acting like a witch. And who wants to have to go through this? No one in their right mind would want to deal with a woman like Jasmine or
I know
like
I wouldn't want to
Stacy
deal with
or
him.
like Darcy or like Julia for that matter. But anyways, let's move on to
Mm-hmm.
Brandon and Julia. So with Brandon and Julia, so Brandon is at home and he's cutting the grass, and Julia is on her way back from New York. She's seen her parents off back to Russia, I believe that's where her home country is,
Right. Yes,
and
Russia.
and
Mm-hmm.
she's stating before she gets there, she's stating that she's going to go on this vacation, this international vacation, by herself if Brandon does not want to go with her, and she's saying that if that happens, excuse me, then their marriage is over. She doesn't want to be with him anymore, and that's it. Mabir also says, Jojo, you don't need a filter. Your skin glows naturally, especially with that smile of yours. Thank you so much, Mabir. I appreciate that compliment. I really do. Yeah. But, Julia is saying that, if she has to go on this vacation alone, that she's not going to be with Brandon anymore. So when Julia comes
Mm-hmm.
back, Brandon reveals to Julia that he has quit his job. I don't understand his reasoning behind that, and I don't remember him necessarily telling us, the audience, what his reasoning was
Mm-hmm.
for quitting his job. I don't remember him saying why he's quit
He
his
didn't
job
say. He
necessarily.
didn't say why.
Okay, I didn't think he did. Maybe in the next episode, he'll go into more detail as to why he made that decision. And I don't know what I mean, we saw the preview for the next episode, and we saw that Brandon was talking to his parents along with Julia. And they were giving him the same song and dance they've been giving him all season long. That Julia is you're doing everything for Julia, and Julia's doing nothing for you. Like, she's bringing you down. And Brandon, like, literally slides down on the cabinets and he starts crying. And it's like, Julia, I don't think Julia cares about Brandon. I really don't think that she gives a hoot nanny about Brandon whatsoever. I think Julia only wants to have her cake and eat it too, have it just the way that she wants it. And whomever cares about it, who cares? Julia doesn't care. She only cares about what she wants. Amir says, quit his job. Well, that's no way to keep a woman. Exactly, Mamir. I don't know why he quit his job either. I'm thinking maybe he quit his job so that he can spend more time with Julia,
He.
and maybe have a way to try to convince
I
her
think he
to
was
want
afraid.
children.
I think he was afraid that he couldn't travel because of his job.
That could be the issue as well, Dustin. I think that might have been the case also. He might have quit his job because he knew he would not be able to get the time off, which makes a lot of sense as well, Dustin. So that's a good observation.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel so bad for Brandon. I feel so bad for Brandon. He's such a nice guy. He sort of kind of gives me Libra vibes in a way because we are people pleasers, and we typically have a great countenance about ourselves. And Brandon, at least when he's happy, he always seems to be in a great mood, at least when Julia is not giving him hell. But I just feel so bad for Brandon. I feel so bad for Brandon. But Julia seems to be happy with the fact that Brandon has quit his job. I was surprised that was her reaction to that news being presented to her. But
No.
I mean, Julia only wants what she wants, and however she gets it, it doesn't matter, because as long as she gets it, she's going to be happy. And I say that in quotations because who knows how how Julia is when she is actually happy, because I don't think that we've ever seen Julia naturally and genuinely happy on this show. But
I don't
anyways,
think we have
Dustin,
either.
What was your reaction to Brandon revealing that information to Brandon that to Julia that he had quit his job?
I
What was your reaction to that?
I didn't. Well, I mean, I didn't expect it. So when it happened, I didn't really know what to think about it because I didn't really expect it. I didn't really expect him to quit his job in general. I thought he was gonna. I thought he was gonna. So you're gonna have to find another way to figure it out because I wouldn't have quit my job, Jonathan. Because
Right.
you gotta be able to pay your bills in order to travel. So I don't understand what they're gonna do. So I don't know what the point of that is.
Well, Julia is saying that she still plans on selling her apartment in Russia, but I don't know if that's going to be enough money. But anyways, Bianca says down in the comments, I know that's right, Mamir, probably reacting to the fact that Mamir said that's no, quitting your job is no way to keep a woman, and that's a great observation, Mamir. Down in the
hmm
comments, I'm loving this interaction in the comment section, y'all. Keep it coming. But
Yes,
anyways, I'm just I just feel
I'm
so
just
bad for
shocked about
Brandon.
the whole thing. I'm really, I'm really, I'm really shocked to hear about that. Um, you never know when you're recapping the show, when you're watching the show, you never know what to expect. And sometimes I don't know what to expect, even hosting it with you. I don't know what to expect, from week to week. So it's hard to prepare myself, even though I tried to prepare myself for it, but sometimes you can't prepare what's going to happen. So it's just it's going to be an interesting ride to see what's going to happen, but we'll figure it out pretty soon. Hmm.
Yeah, we will. We see that there's going to be a big blow up between Brandon, his parents, and Julia next week. And so I just, I don't know if Brandon's parents have encouraged him to leave Julia as of yet, but
Hmm.
they need to get to that point. I don't think Brandon would leave Julia if his parents told him to, but at least give consideration to that possibility, so that you can actually be happy. Because
All right.
Brandon really isn't happy in this relationship because Julia refuses to give to him what he wants, and he wants children, and Julia don't want that. And when you don't want kids, that's just a no out the gate, and that's just never going to change. And Julia is never going to want kids at all, and there's no convincing that Brandon can do to get her to that point. But I think Brandon
Mm-hmm.
is the only way that Brandon and Julia will break up is if Julia leaves Brandon. But I
Yeah.
think that Julia, maybe she just wants a green card. Maybe she just wants to get to live in America. And once she gets that green card, Brandon, just leave her and let her fend for herself. That's all I got to say about that. I love the way the Brandon's character is. And I love the fact that, he's so loving to Julia, and Julia gives him nothing in return. So,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, let's move on to our trio who is on their ski trip. We have Andre, Elizabeth, Alexi, and Lauren, as well as Jovi and
Mm-hmm.
Yara. So,
Where
uh,
do I
um,
begin? I don't know where to
so
begin.
Andre and Elizabeth are on their way to the slopes, and Lauren and Alexi are really nervous about this because Lauren and Elizabeth really have not patched things up as of yet. I thought this was kind of weird that Yada planned this trip for them to go out, but maybe Yada's intentions. I think Yada had the best of intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, by planning this trip because she wants Lauren and Elizabeth to be on better terms, and I appreciate her for that. I really really do. But when Andre and Elizabeth show up, Lauren literally wants to give hugs to everyone, and she goes to give Andre a hug, and he puts out his hand and gives her a handshake. And I understand why Andre had that reaction because he knows that Lauren had supposedly or allegedly said that Andre is a bad man or is a crappy man or whatever the words that were used in that particular statement. And so they
Mm-hmm.
go sledding. I know that they called it something particular or specific, but I don't remember exactly what they were doing. But they go down this sled. Lauren is really really nervous because I guess she might be afraid of heights. I don't know what the case was, but she ends up doing it, and then the three guys go down together, and it's real cool. Then the three couples get into the jacuzzi, and the topic of their "Never Have I Ever" game that Yada and Jovi, as well as Alexi and Lauren, were playing the previous night, comes up, and we do get confirmation that Jovi did not say that Yada used to look ugly. He just said that she used to look different and now she looks better. And I understand
Mm-hmm.
why someone would make the assumption that he meant by saying that she used to be ugly. Like, I can understand why someone would make that assumption. However, that word ugly never came out of his mouth. And because I think even Alexi, ended up saying, yeah, he never said that she said that she was ugly. He said that she was ugly. So, Yada is getting a little bit of she's by her parents as well as friends and schoolmates and things of that nature when she was younger, saying that she wasn't a pretty girl and all that stuff. And so once again, I would understand why Yada would feel as though Jovi was calling her, saying that she used to be ugly. Like, I understand why they would make that comparison, but at the same time, he did not use the word ugly. And so I just hate that they keep on doing that. But
Yeah.
Elizabeth is speaking up for Yada, saying, why would you say that? That could be challenging for someone to discuss in front of their friends. And so I get why,
Yes.
they're having that reaction, but I'm feeling really bad for Jovi because it seems like they're sort of kind of ganging up on him. But at the same point, Jovi, it's best for you not to bring it up. I understand that they were a little tipsy, they were a little inebriated, they were a little under the influence. So I understand how that might have gone over his head.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't like the way that it seemed like everybody was jumping on Jovi. Jovi loves Yada. If he didn't love her, he wouldn't be with her. If he didn't think that she was pretty, he would not be with her. But anyways, Dustin, what was your reaction to that whole scene in the jacuzzi where they were discussing their Never Have I Ever game and the fact that Jovi brought up the fact that Yada used to look different when she was younger?
Well, I was like I said last week, and I'll say it again. I said that I think some people take it too far for me on this season here so far, and I think the people don't realize when people say certain things, it hurts to a certain degree. So I would like to say everybody that's on this season so far needs to be careful on how they say something to one of the people on the show because you don't know how it affects somebody, and I don't want to see anybody being hurt on the show. So please continue and move forward. I don't want to see this happen again. I want everybody to learn from their mistakes and move forward. I don't know how
Absolutely.
easy that is to do.
Initially, I wanted to say that Yara was overreacting a little bit to that at a certain time about my looks and the way that I present myself. And so, if that is a sore subject for you, you definitely would not want your partner or your wife or your husband rather, whatever situation that you were in, you wouldn't want them to make a joke about that type of thing. So
Nope.
Yada is definitely in her right to feel the way that she does. However, I understand Jovi's frustration with everyone continuing to bring up this sore subject, making him look like the bad guy. And I feel for Jovi because right now he is looking like the bad guy.
Mhm.
When you know your wife and you know that that's a subject for her, bringing that up on TV is a good idea. But anyways, we'll see what happens later on
Mhm.
happen later on the ski trip. But let's move on to our final and probably my least favorite couple on this show, which is Darcy and Georgie. So Darcy and Georgie, Darcy and Stacy are at this type of yoga type class where they are sitting freeing themselves from the drama, freeing themselves from the drama. And I find it so ironic that Darcy and Stacey, of all people, are saying out loud while they are mic'd up that they want to get away from the drama. When they bring the drama to every situation they find themselves in. It drives me insane. Ending on 90 Day Fiance, and again, I feel as though the way that they bring the drama up and they keep the drama going is more than likely the reason why they've been on so many iterations of They Fiance the star for a long time. Ian and Georgie, they're going out with a couple with a friend couple of theirs, and they're talking about the issues that they've been having. And let's just get this out the way, Dustin. Sure. Darcy asked Georgie, "Do you want a divorce? Because you're acting like you want a divorce. So do you want a divorce?" I want Georgie to say yes. I want Georgie to say yes. I never liked you. Darcy added her father in a group text to ask Georgie to pay his half of the rent. To me, that's manipulation. Yes, red flag. Absolutely. I don't even know where my red flag is, Dustin. But yes, that is a red flag for sure. But anyways, that is definitely a type of manipulation that she is using, because she knows if her dad is in the chat, then Georgie's going to pep up. And I have no idea why Georgie would want to be with a woman like Darcy.
She's very controlling.
It's so upsetting to me. Very much so, Dustin. Absolutely. And that's a part of being controlling, Dustin, when she puts her father in the group text, because she wants to make sure that she gets out of Georgie what she wants to get out of him. And then when we see the preview for the next episode and Darcy is talking to her father, and her father says, "I told you this was going to happen," which of course Darcy's father is going to be on her side. That is not that's not surprising to me at all. But I just want Georgie to say yes to Darcy's question. And then we see Darcy and Stacey's friends saying that they were shocked by the way that Darcy just asked that question out of the blue. And the entire time I'm saying, why are y'all not checking Darcy on the way that she's in this moment? Like, I understand that they are and Darcy's friends, or at least that's what it seems like they are, even though they have accents. So I don't know who they are closer to, but why are you not checking Darcy for literally treating Georgie like shit? Like, Dustin, what was your reaction to Darcy saying at the table, "Do you want to divorce Georgie? Is that what you want? Because that's what you're acting like." What was your reaction to that? Dustin, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. What was your reaction to Darcy's blow up at the dinner table?
I don't have one, so just pretty much I don't have an opinion on that one, so just move forward.
Okay, all right, cool beans. Yeah, I don't like seeing these women on this show. Once again, it makes me not want to watch the show, just to be completely honest. Like, it's draining to see. I'm sorry, I have to put my connect my charger before my laptop dies, y'all. But it's draining to watch these women treat these men like shit. Like, I could understand if these men were cheating on her, and of course Florian has cheated on Stacey in the past, which, that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for anyone to get cheated on, but they're acting as though these men are treating them like shit. Like, what we're hearing from these men, it doesn't sound like they're treating these women any type of way. It's one way to be, if we're thinking about a guy like Rob, who cheated on Sophie countless times, in a way that she deems as cheating. And that's one thing if Sophie was treating Rob like shit. But I don't think Sophie was treating Rob like shit. I think that Sophie was just a drama queen. But anyways, we'll see what happens on the next episode. Justin, why don't you give the good viewers, your social media contacts before we get out of here?
My social media contacts are Dustin Butler 700. My Facebook is Dustin Butler. Thank you for Jonathan for always being here. Sorry for the technical difficulties we had earlier.
It's okay, Dustin. It's completely fine. We were able to get this show on the road, so it's all good. You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is WilliamJonathanLee@gmail.com. My Cash App is $Jonathan Lee 07. That's $JonatanLee07. Yep, there's my Cash App right there. Thank y'all so much for joining us for this review. Be sure to join me on Thursday night. For my Hot Topics and Social Commentary show, I go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I go live with my sister, and sometimes Bianca joins us as well. We have a great time talking about the latest happenings and goings on in the world. So be sure to join me on Thursday night, and also join us next week, same time, same place, same beautiful faces. But until then, we'll say bye for now, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful and safe week. Stay cool out there. Love you guys for watching. See you guys on the next one. Bye,
See you guys on the next one. Thank you.
My hand is just